let me show you why your skies and sunsets fail. I'm going to show you 3 examples. I'm going to share with you 3 pieces of advice that are crucial for getting your skies right. And we're going to start with the first one, which is note the edges. For the sketch, we have this kind of a structure. We have one main cloud, then we have another cloud. I made some right now, right this second, I made some changes to the composition based on my experience painting. Let's get to it. So we have the sky itself, and that is pretty much just a blue. You can use whatever blue you want. My top secret as a bonus tip, and by the way, stay tuned for 3, because you're gonna love it. My secret trick is I like to mix not just ultramarine, which looks a little artificial. I mix in some cobalt blue. It really saves the feeling of it, makes it look so much more natural. Now, this cloud is actually darker than the sky, so let me show you what I'm gonna be doing in just 1 second, okay? But first, let's talk about those edges. So as I mentioned, edges are key. And what you want to do is have a variety of them if you want to convey, sorry, that's my phone, the fluffiness of the sky. So what we're going to do is grab a damp brush, okay? I put it in my water and then I dab it a bit on my piece of paper towel. And when it's damp, not super wet, I go over the edge like so, and I soften it in some select spots. You could even soften and extend the blue into the cloud itself. And by doing so, you already start shading the cloud, okay? So there are pretty much endless ways of doing this, and skies are kind of the perfect subject matter for this kind of work because they're so varied and they're so interesting, okay? So now I'm gonna mix a darker blue here using my ultramarine, my phthalo blue, and check it out because it's time to start placing in the darker clouds, okay? And this is just thumbnails. This is real quick work, of course. We're not going into too many details here. I have used black. The secret to using black color is most of the colors are still not black, they're still blue. That's what you want. If you want to keep the color alive, make sure the majority is your colors and then have a bit of black just to really push the darkness. But in any case, this cloud is pretty much just a straightforward shape. But even this shape, we've controlled the edges of. How? I painted it while the background's still wet. Can you see this? Background is still wet. And now I'm going to use this opportunity to mix a bit more of a dull gray green. And I'm going to use that to darken my in-between layer of clouds. And check it out. I'm letting these two mix. Now, what I'm doing here will be easier to do on a larger piece of paper, believe it or not, because you have more room for the paint to flow. So if you're struggling with sizes, sometimes people think I'll keep it small and simple. Just know that sometimes making the painting larger is your secret, okay? Now, these aren't meant, of course, to be a finished product in any way. I'm just showing you my way of taking care of the edges, okay? I'm gonna introduce a bit of gray in there just to create some kind of a contrast, and look at that, okay? And I'm gonna give you one bonus advice before we move on to tip number 2 and skyscape number 2. If you're struggling with smoothing out an edge, just pre-wet and then place that edge. See? Just a quick tip for you, very easy to implement. Now let's move on to skyscape number 2. And for this tip, I want to tell you about colors. What you'll find, and if you can take one thing out of this, is sunsets are dominated by yellows, oranges, blues, and violets, okay? So what you'll very often see is violets and pinks. So I'm gonna actually start this one with a bit of violet and red. I'm not doing wet and wet here. Notice I could, but I'm not, because I want control still, but I'm using very wet paint. Because if you're not gonna use wet and wet, you need the paint to be wet, okay? Now I'm picking up a bit of cobalt blue. The beauty about cobalt blue is it's a little opaque. Can you see how it shines through the darker purple? That's one thing I'm kind of after recently with my blues. And we're gonna talk about the third component soon, and it will tie everything together, okay? Edges, colors, and one more thing. But I want you to pay attention how this works, okay? I have leftovers here, just leftovers of warm gray. I'm gonna pick those up, and all I'm gonna do is just introduce them here to my layer, okay? And notice what happens around this area. It really picks up, it goes lighter, and it goes way more orange. So I'm gonna start with orange. I'm mixing in basically a kind of somewhat opaque lemon yellow and my Pyrrole Scarlet, Daniel Smith, okay? And we're gonna almost start this a little dark, but pay close attention what's going on here. Again, this is wet on dry, so you have to be a little fast sometimes in how you apply the wash, but check it out. I'm just gonna put this clean, beautiful, pure yellow, and probably we will benefit from just on top of it, placing some clean Pyrrole Scarlet, if we can manage to get some. Which is going to be just feeding into the wash. In fact, let me switch over to a different red here. My tripod's in my way. Let's grab a bit of this red and a bit of, believe it or not, our quinacridone rose in yellow and a bit of Pyrrole. And I think this should do the trick, okay? Just to give us that kind of golden feel. And if we really want to, you know, make the light pop over the top, here's what we do. We add a dark at the bottom. I'm gonna talk about this in the next example, so I don't wanna dive too deep into this, but look at how placing in some kind of a dark ground really pulls and brings back the attention to the sky, okay? We're isolating the factors here to make it so much easier for you to understand, okay? So what we're essentially doing is, here are the different factors. You don't have to do them all together. You can decide to focus just on one at a time, for example, edges, for example, colors, and then later, if you want, tie it all together and create the perfect masterpiece. If you don't know, I'm starting a 100 skies challenge, just like I did with the cars. Yes, I'm starting that. Be sure to follow me on Instagram if you want to see the updates. I'll post them here as well. But you see the colors? Just fantastic. These purples, they play an important role. Sometimes it's hard to read a color. Is it a purple? Is it a violet? Is it a blue? You'll find most colors there, so you want to include them. Now, number 3. This is the most important concept. Trap the light. If you want something to feel light, you need to put it in the context of it being light. I'm going to start with the light area. Okay, and you can see this in my reference photo, right? This is going to be our beautiful light area. And we're going to wrap it with a bit of said red. Not sad red, said red. Red I was talking about earlier. Okay, and so we're going to kind of wrap it around. Now I'm going to switch over to a bit of bluish dark violet. Just around the edges here. It feels like the right thing to do. Okay, if you want to see how wet it is, oops, sorry you didn't see. My bad. There we go. My apologies. So you see how wet it is. Sorry, I should have totally moved the paper, but you didn't miss anything important. Now is the moment. This is the moment. Okay, we're gonna trap the light. How are we gonna trap the light? We're gonna darken everything else. It's as simple as that. Let me switch my brush. Hopefully you will make it in time before this dries, because I kind of took my sweet time. I'm gonna mix in a bit of the mix we already have. You see, this is how I keep things organic. Yes, this is black, but it also has my my red and my yellow. Okay, and check it out. Again, the context. The context right now is this is light. We have a paper white. Let's get rid of the paper white. And look at what we are getting here. Now, this light paint actually means something. And in fact, this of course isn't dark enough. So we're gonna, and by the way, there's a bit of wet and wet here going on with some soft edges. We can play up to that if we want to. Doesn't really matter to me, but look at the light. Did we bring in the light? We have brought it in. Let me show you. You want to see a real extreme example of this for a more developed painting? I'll show you. I got it right here. Check this one out. This one I just recently shared on Instagram. Look at how I trapped the light. I darkened everything around. With a larger painting like this, you get to have more context. So the context is not only just black, but there's clouds, there's the sky, but the light really, it feels like, right, it shines through here. So you want to note the edges, and look at how beautifully some of these dry. Note the edges, be mindful of the colors, and trap the light. To make something light, wrap it around in darks. It's as simple as that. I hope this was useful. If you want to learn more directly from me, I opened a new tier in the Watercolor Breakthrough Club. Okay, I'm running a limited promo. This is a great price. It's $49 a month or $4.90 a year. You get access to weekly live streams, so learn directly from me the most nuanced technique that I teach, okay? Get access to the community on Discord where you can share your paintings, get feedback from others and from myself, by the way. And as a bonus, you get access to the live streams vault. So you have access to all the club's live streams up to this point, updating every week. So check it out. It's a great opportunity. I don't know how long I'm going to keep this price because this club is something where I'm devoting my time directly to. Okay, I'm helping you grow. I'm interacting with you on a regular basis, more than I can keep up with comments on all social media. So at some point it's going to be full. It's not full yet. Join now. This is a wonderful opportunity. Learn more directly from me and other members. We have a wonderful community, great people. I'm cultivating it to be really good people that are supportive and aspiring for more. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who supports me over on Patreon. If you want to receive credits at the end of my videos, go check it out. You can put like $1 a month and you'll get the perk. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Take care.